Shalom Aleichem, this is David Hamami. With God's help, we're going to learn the Maamer Ve'ele Shemos from Tavshin Lamed Zayin. With God's help, we're going to do the Hebrew with an English translation and minimal commentary. I'll put the link to the website on Lahak down below. And please leave any commentary or any thoughts that you might have. Siyata Dishmaya Shabbos Parsha Shmois Chafei Teves M'Barchen Achodesh Shvat Tavshin Lamed Zayin. With the help of above, this was said on Parsha Shmois, which was the 25th of Teves. They were blessing the month of Shvat. Ve'ela Shmois B'nei Yisrael by Mitzrayim V'Gomer Reuven Shimon and Levi Yehuda V'Gomer. So the parsha starts out and says, these are the names of the Bnei Yisrael, of the children of the Jews. They came to Mitzrayim. Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, and so on. Yidua diuk bali lule chaf daled tevis kva kedushus admor hazaken b'sifrei Torah or b'divrei maskil zeh. We know the specific wording of the Alter Rebbe, that it was his yahrzeit on chaf daled tevis, in his Torah, or on the Maamer that starts with this wording, the Parshas V'yigash Ne'emar Gam Kein Ve'ela Shmois B'nei Yisrael Habai Mitzrayim V'Gomer. The Alter Rebbe brings that also in Parshas V'yigash it says the same words, Ve'ela Toide Ve'ela Shmois B'nei Yisrael Habai Mitzrayim. These are the names of the Bnei Yisrael that came to Mitzrayim. Yisarach Lahavin Lama Huchpal B'Torah Inyan by Mitzrayim. We need to understand, why does it double the Torah, the concept of coming to Mitzrayim? Kvoid Kudush Azmor HaMsai Moisif Oid B'divrei Maskil Zeh Shvetoras Chaim Shehu Bir Al Maamer Anal Mikvoid Kudush Admor HaZaken Ubiyuroi. So the Maamer Rebbe, the second Rebbe of Chabad, he adds this in his Maamer in the Sefer Torah Chaim, that it's an explanation on the Maamer of the Alter Rebbe, and with all of its commentaries, that we know that the Torah is eternal and it speaks for every time and every generation. Meaning that the concept of coming to Mitzrayim you have in every generation. So too you have a lesson from this for each and every Jew in every time and in every place. The Torah hi milashon ha'ira, that the Torah comes from the wording of a lesson. V'im kein ha'ira hi nitzchis, and if so, the lesson must also be eternal. V'hine kivan shahatera hi nitzchis muvan shegam pratei inyanim degalus mitzrayim v'chulu yeshna b'chol dor. Since the Torah is eternal, it's understood that all the specifics of the exile of Mitzrayim and is applicable to every single generation. L'chen gam prati inyanim devimaru es chayehem ba'avodah kasha uvilveinim v'gomer es kol ha'avodasam asher avdu bahem beparich yesham gam ken b'chol hazmanim. Therefore, the specific concept that their lives were embittered with hard work and with brick and mortar and so on, that all their work was done in a way of painstaking work, you have this also in all times. You can't say that the purpose of embittering their lives was for itself. God forbid. Rather, this whole concept of being embittered was only in order to have a redemption that came afterwards. That this is what the verse says, that Hashem says, I will go down to Mitzrayim with you, and I will go up with you. I will go up. That the whole purpose of the descent to Mitzrayim is in order that afterwards I will go up with you. So to summarize Sif Aleph, it says that the pasuk that we brought is brought already in Parshas Vigash. Why do we have to double it? And we know that the Torah is eternal and is a lesson for every generation. If so, the whole concept of hard work in Mitzrayim was not something that was just a one-time thing, but something that we can learn from. And it wasn't just for the sake of going into Mitzrayim by itself, but that there could be a Geula afterwards. And that's the whole concept, that Hashem went down to Mitzrayim and He went up. That the whole purpose of going down to Mitzrayim and sending the Jews down to Mitzrayim was only in order that we can be raised up. Seif base. Ha'inyan hu dehine kasiv yarad yuradnu shnei shtam beis yiridois v'chen be'inyan hageula ne'emar v'anoichi alcha gam aloi beis aliyos. The concept is that it's written that in regards to Yosef's brothers, we went down to get food. You see that when it says we went down, Yared Yuradnu, it's talking about two descents. And so too by the concept of the redemption, Hashem says, V'anoichi alcha gam aloi, I will also go up, showing that there's two going up, two ascents. Ubichlaalus beis yiridos ve'aliyos elu kai al geulos Mitzrayim v'hagilah hasida. That in general the two descents and the two ascents refer to the redemption of Mitzrayim and the redemption of the future. V'cheira mahai hashaychus bein hagilah miMitzrayim v'hagilah hasida shemishkashrim oisam zelazeh. What is the connection between the redemption of Mitzrayim and the redemption of the future, that we connect them one to another? So the concept is that we know that it's written that just like the days I took you out of Egypt, I will show you wonders. The explanation, the simple explanation of the verse is that just like the days I took you out of Egypt, so too the example of what I took you out of Egypt, there will be wonders also in the future redemption. Ubezor piresh shaniflos the geula hasida you niflos afilo legabi niflos hayu b'meisis chamer Mitzrayim. But the Zohar gives a different explanation. The Zohar explains that the wonders that are going to be in the future are going to be wonders even compared to the wonders that were at the time of going out of Mitzrayim. Amnamizeh shemedamim beis haniflaos de Mitzrayim v'hageula hasida zelazeh muvan sheyesh beineihem sheichus b'teichnem hapnimim. However, this that we liken the two wonders, the wonders of Mitzrayim and the wonders of the future, together, it's understood that the two of them have a connection also in their inner workings. It's not only that we liken the two of them together because they both have wonders, but the fact that we liken them in their inner workings must mean that they are likened also, the two Geulos, how they have wonders. This is why the continuation of the Maamer of the Alter Rebbe, and also in Torah's Chaim, Shlachir should be beis ha'aliyos, the Allah al chalgam aloi, kayal gula mitzrayim ve'agula asida, mamshich dehine kasiv ki meisis chamer Mitzrayim ar niflois. This is why, after explaining in Torah Or and in Torah's Chaim the two aliyos, that's what it means. Al chagam aloi, I will go up with you, refers to the redemption of Mitzrayim and the redemption of the future. Then it continues and it says, just like the days I took you out of Egypt, I will show you wonders. Why does it bring this in this specific order? Because this explains the connection of the two redemptions, that you connect them in the verse that it says Alcha Gam Aloi, that I will go up with you, I will go up. So to summarize base, we know that there's two verses one that shows about the Ridois, that it says Yaroid Yuranu, and one that shows about the Aliyos, that it says Al-Cha Gam Aloi, I will go up, I will also go up, shows that there's two types of redemption. One is the redemption of Mitzrayim, of Egypt, and one is the redemption of the future. And we know that the two are connected. Not only they're connected because they both have wonders, but they're connected also in their inner workings, in the inner concept, the inner content of how the Niflaos happened. That must be why the Alter Rebbe says Ki Meiseis Chameres Yisraim, to show that the two are connected in their details. And now in Sif Gimel, the Rebbe is going to go through and he's going to give an example, several examples of how they are connected, the redemption that we had in Mitzrayim to the redemption that we're about to experience. Sif Gimel. Ubir HaShaychus B'Techan Beis HaGeulah the Mitzrayim Elasi Lavoy Hu the K'moy Shebegalus Mitzrayim Lo Haisa HaKawana Begalus Atzmai Chas V'Shalom Unekudasoi Haprimis Haisa Inyan Geula Shel Acharei. The connection of the content of the two redemptions, that of Mitzrayim and that of the future, is just like in the exile of Mitzrayim was not the purpose for the exile itself, God forbid, and its whole inner point was the concept of the redemption that came afterwards. Shitachlisa hu kabbalas haTorah kameshkasu b'hotziacha es ha'am b'Mitzrayim ta'avdun es ha'elokim al ha'ar hazeh. That its whole purpose of us going into exile was for having a redemption afterwards, that we could receive the Torah, like it says that I took you out, this nation, from Mitzrayim to serve God on this land, on this mountain. Hine kach kol ha'galus hazeh hu kedei lezachos l'geula pnimis haTorah sheyeh la'aseh lavoy. So too, this galus that we're in right now is in order to be meriting the revelation of the inner part of the Torah that's going to be in the future. That on this it says, the pasuk in Shirashim, that he kisses me with kisses of the lips. That just like the concept of imprisonment of Mitzrayim was in order to refine the Jews and to refine them and purify them in order that they'll be able to receive the Torah. B'dugma lekur habarzin shemitzaref es hakesef me'apsoiles v'hasigim v'nishar hakesef naki mikol sig, like the example of a melting pot, that it's to refine the metal from any impurities, and all that remains is the pure metal. So too, in the same way, is in this final galus, this final exile, we are zoiche afterwards to receive the revelation of the inner part of the Torah. The Rebbe says in brackets, that this goes in a way that we're going to be sustained by it, meaning in a way of parnasa and mazon, in a way that we're going to have sustenance and we're going to have mazon, literally food. That this whole concept is the true parnasa of every single Jew. That this will draw down even to his feet, and this will affect him in a way that it gets spread out and it becomes expanded. Now the Rebbe is going to explain comparisons between the Galus of Mitzrayim to the Galus that we're going to, the Geula that we're going to have. So the great length of this Galus, this final exile that we're in right now, is incomparable to the Galus of Mitzrayim. Why? The Tam Hadavar Hu Kevin Shetachlis Kavanas Galus Ha'achron Hu Bechdei Lezachos Aidei Zeh Legiloi Pnei Satira. Why is it so much greater? That since the purpose of the whole Galus, this final Galus, is in order that we'll be meriting through it the revelation of Pnei Torah. Masha'in ken galus Mitzrayim, the kavanaso haisa bishvil gilui nigla de Torah. Not so with the galus of Mitzrayim, that its whole purpose was in order to have a revelation of the revealed part of the Torah that we mentioned above. Lachen kamoish bepnimis Torah, yashkenim v'neshikus pihu, hu bein aruch min nigla de Torah, k'moken hagalus sha'yidei bayim legilui zeh, he gam ken b'dugmas lahatorah shemizgalis ayidei bein aruch migalus Mitzrayim sha'yidei bo legilui nigla de Torah. Therefore, the revealed part of the inner part of the Torah, that it says he kisses me with kisses of his lips, that's incomparably greater than nigla the Torah, the revealed part of the Torah. So too the galus, that through the galus we come to this revelation, is also likened to the Torah that gets revealed through it. That the Torah that gets revealed through it is incomparable from the galus Mitzrayim, that leads us only to a revelation of the revealed part of the Torah. The nigla the Torah he bechinas Torah sheba b'hagbala, that the revealed part of the Torah reaches us to a place that's limited. Masha'in ken pnimis Torah she bein aruch l'mayla mimidida v'hagbala. Not so with the revealed part of the inner part of the Torah, that it's incomparably greater than the limits that we have in the revealed part of the Torah. V'afal pi shegam arichus galus zeh ha'achron ba b'hagbala b'kamus v'ashanim, hine ein hakavana b'godel arichus b'galus zeh al arichus b'zmanim belvad, ki im gan al arichus sheboy b'godel yisrim v'hatzaros b'frat b'chevle Mashiach chevle leida. Nevertheless, the length of the final galus comes to an end. It has a limitation in years. That the intention of the great length of the galus is not only in time, rather also the length, the arichus begodel hayisurim v'hatzaros ubefrat bechevle Mashiach chevle leida, and specifically in the suffering and the problems that we have in the birth pangs of Mashiach, right before Mashiach is going to come. That these pain and sufferings are incomparably greater than the galus that we had in Mitzrayim. So the Rebbe says it's not only that the time is so much longer in this galus than we had in the galus Mitzrayim, but also the pains that we're going to experience, that we are experiencing right now, just before the coming of Mashiach, the birth of Mashiach, is incomparably greater. The intention is not that we have to, God forbid, have suffering. Was is nicht Leute die Gegebenheit von Juden bilvad. Rather, the concepts that are not fit for that which is regular for a Jew, that which doesn't fit a Jew alone, that even that which doesn't fit a Jew alone is also considered sufferings. As is brought in the Gemara, on the verse that it says that the Mitzrim, they made the Bnei Yisrael work beparech, with painstaking labor, that they gave to them the avoida of women, they gave to the men. Afal pisha avoidas nashim kalo me avoidas anashim, the isha tash keicha mikol makom lagabe anashim, la avoidas parech yechshav kevan she'enam lefiri gelusam. Even though the service of women is lighter than the service of men, that we know a woman is weak in her power, nevertheless, in regards to men, that the avodah parech, that which was painstaking for them, was considered as that which was not regular for them. How much more so in regards to the lack of regularity in regards to one Jew, that it's considered like a Yisurim for him. The Rebbe gives an example right now, how we can compare that which was in the past to what we have now. How much more so, and kal v'chomer, how much more could you say in regards to Nebuchadnezzar? He was an enemy of the Jews, that in his chus he walked 3 steps to give honor to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that because of those 3 steps that he honored HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he became meritorious to have the kingship, that he was king over the whole entire world. For him, for his son, and for his grandson, Gimel Doiros, for 3 generations, Malchus Betachlis Hais Rachvus Bechulu, the Benuchatzecha Moich Bekipa Haya, Hine Al Achas Kama V'Kama, Keshemedubar Oidois Echad Yisrael. So the Malchus of Nebuchadnezzar was in a way of expansiveness, that he was reigning over the entire world. How much more so you could say in regards to one Jew? What do we say about Jews? We say B'nei Bechiri Yisrael. We say Bani Matem L'Hashem L'Keichem. That the verse says, my child, my firstborn, the Jews, where it says, you are children before Hashem your God. Hine ha'toiva ha'megia lahem hi shaloi lefi erech klal mimash zacha Nebuchadnezzar. That the great good that reaches the Jews is incomparably greater than that which was zoiche to Nebuchadnezzar. B'chol echad meYisrael afilu ha'pashuv shebepshutim b'yechaltu l'tavoi b'yakadosh baruch hu kol inyanim tovim beruchnius shezeu ikar shel Yehudi u'mezeh nimshach gam b'gashmius. That each and every Jew, even the most simple Jew, has his ability to receive from HaKadosh Baruch Hu all the things that are good in spirituality, that this is the main concept of a Jew, and from this it draws down also into physicality. B'chol inyani bracha v'chulu shekalalusam hi banei chayim mezoni reviche, that the whole concept of blessings from Hashem, they include in children, in health, and in sustenance, and all of them in a way of expansiveness, in a way that he is commanding in over everything. That from this it's understood that anything that is not considered regular, not considered fitting for a Jew, is considered like a suffering. And it's incomparable that you say in regards to Mitzrayim that before Matan Torah, before receiving the Torah, it was different than somebody who's after receiving the Torah, that he is commanded and he is doing. And through this we're able to pass and to remove any of the stains that were even the smallest stains that remained from any of the Yisurim and the sorrows that we had from before. So to give a summary on Gimel, we say that the Galus of Mitzrayim is likened to the Galus of the future, and there are several different explanations of how they are the same. One, they're the same in that the whole purpose of the Galus of Mitzrayim was in order to bring us to the Geula so that we can receive the Torah. So the Rebbe compares it to us now, that the whole purpose that we're going through Galus right now is in order for us to get the premius of Torah that we're going to get later. And then the Rebbe says that it's also in regards to the length of time, that the length of time that we've been in this Galus is incomparably longer than the Galus of Mitzrayim. If so, the revelation of the Torah that we're going to receive of premius of Torah is going to be incomparably greater. And the Rebbe says also in regards to the suffering that happened by the Jews, that when it says that he put us to painstaking labor, it wasn't only a physical labor, but he gave to men even the job of women, and that for them was considered like Yisurim, like suffering. So we see also that there was something that was didn't make sense that we had to go through, so too the sufferings that we go through just by going through something that is not fitting for a Jew right now is considered like suffering. And the reward that we're going to get, the Rebbe gave an example of Nebuchadnezzar, who was only given a reward of reigning over the world for 3 generations just because he honored HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So too by the Jews, how can you even compare? Our reward is going to be so much greater. The revelations that we're going to get are going to be so much greater, even than compared to Nebuchadnezzar. Seif Daled. V'hinei kol hagiluim d'lasi tuleim b'ma'aseinu v'avodaseinu b'meshech hashis alfei shnin de havi alma, that all the revelations of the future are dependent on our actions and our avodah, our service, throughout the 6,000 years of this world. That this is the concept that he embittered their lives in the spiritual sense. How can we understand the lesson from the Jews that they went through an embitterment and they went through a hard, painstaking labor in Mitzrayim? What does that have to do with us right now? That's what it means, that avodah of kasha, that's a concept of a kushya, a question. When you have a question in Torah, that's called a kushya. Avodah kasha is a kushya. When we say b'chomer, that they had mortar, they built mortar, that's a kal v'chomer. That's the way that we learn, one of the rules that we learn when learning halacha. Uvilvenim dal liban hilchasa. And when it says that they made bricks, this is referring to cleansing or clarifying a halacha. Was matart zich in limud Torah lohitzi halacha berura aydei ribui shakla v'tarya, that a person toils deeply into the learning of Torah to bring out a clear halacha through an abundance of going back and forth. Ubematzav b'machshechim hashvani zeh Talmud Bavli. And then when it says that they were in that state, that they machshechenim hashvani, this is referring to the Talmud Bavli. Ad she milaben or vashdois as kushyois uraminhu v'chulu ad she halacha me'ira mashira, that the concept of milaben, that they cleansed, they washed all the questions and any of the questions that they had, so much so that it brought us to a halacha that was clear and was shining. V'zeu ikir inyan Torah, that this is the whole concept of Torah, halacha psuka uberura, that when we learn the Torah, we make it into a halacha that is clear and is final. V'zeu mailas ha-mishnayos shehem halacha psuka, that this we can see is the greatness of mishnayos, that it's a halacha psuka, that it's a halacha that was very clear. Not like they had to go back and forth and fight back and forth, but they made it a clear halacha. L'chen amrazal en hagaluyos miskanetsois ele b'zchus mishnayos shneimar gam ki yitnu begoyim ate kapsem. That this is what the sages say, that we're not going to enter the galus, the geula, except through the zchus of mishnayos. It's not only in Torah, but also there's a certain cleansing that happens in the avodah of tefillah. The way it's explained by the Maamer Rebbe in Torah's Chaim. That through the concept of embittering their lives, and understanding this in not a physical sense, but in a spiritual sense, in the way we apply it to Torah and tefillah, to Torah and prayer, then we're able to convert over and change over the sufferings of the galus, of this final galus. So the Rebbe says in Daled, in summary, that the avodah of the Jews, what they went through in galus Mitzrayim, they had avodah kasha, they had chemer uveilvenim. That could be understood spiritually as well for us. That when we have an avodah kasha, a hard work, that's talking about the questions that are brought in halacha. And when we have a chemer, that's talking about the kal v'chemer. And vilvenim, that's talking about clarifying a halacha. That when a Jew goes through this, he brings about the level of changing over any of his sufferings that we go through in this galus. V'zeu ma shekasu ve'ela shemos b'nei Yisrael v'gomer sha'idei ha'inyan de shemos b'nei Yisrael poyalim hagiula shlachrei zeh. Now we can go back to the beginning of our Maamer, that what does it say? That these are the names of the Bnei Yisrael. That through the concept of the names of the Bnei Yisrael, we cause the Geula, the redemption that's going to come afterwards. The Inyan Shmois Bnei Yisrael Hu, K'de Isa B'Midrash, the Ribon Shimon Nachsin, Reuven Shimon Nachsin, Reuven Shimon Salkin, Shloi Shino Es Shmam, V'hainu Shadloi Rakshe, Amdu B'toikef Al Ikri HaTorah Mitzvahs, V'afilu Al Loi Al Torah Mitzvahs Stam, Ki'im Gam Al Inyanim Zehirus V'chulu, Ad She'afilu Loi Shinu Es Shmam. So it mentions in the Medrash that Reuven and Shimon, they went down to Mitzrayim. And Reuven and Shimon, they went up from Mitzrayim, that they didn't change their names, meaning not only that they stood in a strong way in the main concepts of Torah Mitzvahs, and not only Torah Mitzvahs in a simple way, rather all the concepts were done b'zehirus, in a very careful way, so much so that even they didn't make a change to their names. How much more so that by them the whole concept of Torah Mitzvahs was the way it was supposed to be. And the same way right now in this galus, that we stand very strong even in the concepts that are very simple, that we shouldn't change our name and so on, and so how much more so that's our avodah that we do right now. That's the idea of a Ve'ela Shemos b'nei Yisrael. V'chen hu b'Torah she'inyana hu gam ken ha'inyan de Shemos dekol ha'Torah hi Shmoisav shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So too by the Torah, that the whole concept is the concept of Shmos, names. That the whole Torah is called the names of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hine poyalim hamshacha de bechinas ve'ela Shmos, that we're able to affect this concept of these are the names. Ukenal the chol haTorah hi Shmoisav shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, like we mentioned above, that the whole Torah is the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'yesh samech reish oisius l'Torah Shmos da HaKadosh Baruch Hu u'mevin tzirufei elu hakadosh yoser hasheva Shmos she'inam nimchakim. That we know that the Torah is 600,000 letters, which are the names of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's understood that the interposing of the letters, which are more holy than the 7 names that can't be erased, umehem gufa bechinas shmei hagadol, and from them you have the great name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shezeu bechinas hagilui dilasi shepoyalim ha'yedei ha'avodah de'achshav. That this is the level of the revelation that's going to be in the future, that's affected through our service right now that we mentioned above. V'hamshacha de bechinas shmei hagadol ha'isa kvar b'yemei Chanukah she'az haya k'may shekasuf deva'ala nisim mehoidois lahalel shimcha hagadol. That the continuation of the level, the drawing down of the level of His great name was already done in the days of Chanukah. That then it says in Alanisim, what do we say? That He will praise your great name. Ubo'efen nitzchi, and in an eternal way. The Hanerus halalu ein beten la'ilam, that we know that these lights, the lights of Chanukah, are never going to be nullified. However, that which draws down, that we experience through Chanukah, that was only in a hidden way. The real revelation of Shmoi Hagadol, of Hashem's great name, is going to be in the future. So to summarize, that we said Eile Shmois B'nei Yisrael. Shmois B'nei Yisrael refers in 2 ways. One is that we can see that the Jews that went to Mitzrayim, and they came out of Mitzrayim, they didn't change their names. And 2 is that all the Torah is called by the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Every single letter is the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So too, we learn the Torah and we reveal the inner parts of Hashem, and we reveal, and what's going to happen is when Mashiach is going to come, we're going to experience that true revelation. V'hinei, b'hayirida atzmam beis madrigos. So when we mentioned before that Hashem descended down, we descended with Hashem down to Mitzrayim, that we said in the beginning, in the second paragraph, we said that there were two descents. V'aderech dugma shneisha yirida haseichel ba'oisis hamachshava l'malti yoser masha haseichel ba gam ba'oisis hadibur. So this descent that we experienced in Mitzrayim, how do we experience this now? How can we understand it? Like the example that you have by the descent of an intellect that come into the letters of speech. So just to give a little bit of a preface, that you have in the spherois you have seichel and midos that is above the spherois. And then you have the seichel is intellect and midos is emotions. So too, the way that they're expressed, the garments that they express themselves through, is through the expressions of thought, speech, and action. Meaning a person can have an intellectual idea, but the way that he thinks about it, or the speech that he talks about it, or the way that he does something about it, those are only garments of what he does with it. But higher than that is seichel. So the seichel, the intellect, that has a descent into machshava, into thought, into letters of thought. And even lower than this is that the seichel, the intellect, can go down into the letters of speech. So too, in the service of Torah and Tefillah, you have these two things. That you have the thoughts of Torah and you have the speech of Torah. How do we know? That it says, in Mishlei, it says, it's life for those who find it. How do the sages explain for those who find it? Those who find it bepeh, in their mouth, in their speech. And not only in the speech, but it can go through all 248 limbs. Like it says in Brachos, that it says that if you make it orderly in the 248 limbs, meaning that you let the Torah and the Tefillah reach all the limbs of your body, then the Torah that you have will be mishtameres, so it will be protected. So too in prayer. The alpha pisha tefillah hi avoda shabalev k'ti isa b'gemara ezo hi avoda shehi belev havei omer zu tefillah. That even though prayer is a service of the heart, like it's mentioned in the Gemara, which is a service that is of the heart, that's what we call tefillah, prayer. Mikol makom sarich liyos gamken hadiber deoisis tefillah. Nevertheless, you have to have the letters of prayer. That through this, by the letters of our prayer, we remove any of the blockages that we have. The mitzvahs vidui teshuva be'inyan emiras kaf beis oisus behavidui. This is corresponding to what is brought by the Tzemach Tzedek in his Sefer HaMitzvahs, in the mitzvah of confession that we have over there, that you have the concept of 22 letters of confession. That this is the concept of the Geula, of the redemption, which is drawing down Hashem's great name in these two levels. The Almin Stimin de la Iskalyan, Almin de Iskasia. You have a world that is hidden, that doesn't reveal, that's called the hidden world. Shu bedugmas oisis machshava. That's likened to the letters of the thought. Because in our thought, those letters are hidden. Ube alma de Iskalia, Shu dugmas lo isis adibur, the hamshacha behabeis bechinos de alma de Iskasia, Ube alma de Iskalia, hu inyan ma mina elam vada elam, hu kimura betorah orasham. That the concepts of the revealed part of the world, the revealed world, is the letters of speech that you draw down these two letters into the world that is hidden and into the revealed world, which that is what it means, that will go from one world, it will reach from one world to the next world. That all of this is going to happen through the first Redeemer, that is also the final Redeemer, and may it all happen B'Karav Mamish. So to give a summary for Vav, that the descent that we have is in two ways, and can be explained by a person's intellect descending down into thought or descending down into speech. And you can also apply these descents to Torah and Tefillah, that in Torah you can think words of Torah, or you can speak words of Torah. So too by Tefillah, even though Tefillah is that which is in the heart, the Tefillah has to come through words. So too those words, that descent that we have, can allow us to remove any blockages. What's the ascent that we have? That this affects two worlds also. It affects the revealed, the hidden world, that's the corresponding to machshava, to thought, and the revealed world, which is corresponding to speech. And the Rebbe concludes and he says that the first Redeemer, which is Moshe Rabbeinu, he is the final Redeemer, and may all of this happen B'Karav Mamish.